What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy 4th of July. We are Hops Geek News, a podcast that talks about comic books, movies, TV shows, and of course, we feature a beer of the week. I'm Matt. With me is Lauren. And if you're looking for us because you've stumbled here, well, guess what? Go to Hops Geek News on any social media platform, any podcasting platform, patreon.com/Hops Geek News. You can also support the show there. Everything that comes into us goes right back into the show itself. With that said, today we're just going to kind of free flow it, man. I just got back from a trip to Los Angeles. So I'm going to talk about the trip. We're going to talk about Disneyland, Disney World, some similarities, some differences. We're going to talk about Universal and why it's just very overrated in Los Angeles, for one, the differences between the Orlando Universal and the LA Universal. And then we're going to wrap it all up, put a bow on it, if you will, and talk the first two episodes of Marvel's Secret Invasion.
And
So
I
thanks.
watched Howard the Duck. I have a couple things I need to say about that.
Yes. We will get to that. First things first, though, my beer comes from Bottle Logic Brewing Company because I got to go there the other day where we drank a lot of really, really good beers. Oh my God. I'll talk about them in a minute. However, this is Tidal Terror. It's a tart ale brewed with cherries, lime, and vanilla featuring the Blob. It's really cool. It's a collaboration. It's between Bottle Logic and Campy Creatures. Go to campycreatures.com. And one thing that Bottle Logic does really well is, of course, they do their smoothie ales, their tart ales, wicked good. And this is no different. It's only 5%. However, you get a lot of cherry flavor in it, a lot of that vanilla. You get kind of like lime on the initial taste. Nothing too crazy. Drink it in my Pim's glass. And yeah, just a great, great beer, great brewery. What are you drinking?
So I actually did just finish a Bottle Logic beer in honor of you having just visited there. But just now I opened a Florida beer since we're talking Florida versus California with some of these theme parks. This beer, it's actually from a new brewery. It's called Dream State Brewing. It just recently opened up in Fort Lauderdale. It's in downtown Fort Lauderdale. It's where Kaufner Brewing used to be, which I really liked Kaufner Brewing because it was a German themed brewery. However, Dream State Brewing, so far, all the beers I've had have been fantastic. Apparently, it's one of the brewers from J. Wakefield opened this, and this is a New England double IPA called The Last of Us. It is 8%. And it's got some fun can art on there. You got a bull, you got an astronaut, you got a duck. So I'm going to go out on a stretch and say the astronaut is for Tomorrowland, the bull is for Frontierland, and the duck is for the ducks you
Oh,
see
there we
in the
go.
water in front of the castle. And I have it in my big owl glass, which is something Disneyland no longer has. Country Bear Jamboree, but Magic Kingdom does. If you haven't been in the Country Bear Jamboree show, you absolutely have to. It is the most bizarre thing in the entire world. It's one of those old school Disney things where they're like, okay, we have to keep one or it will anger everybody, but we can't have both. But in California, on the Winnie the Pooh ride, the three heads you can see you have to like turn your head around in the Winnie the Pooh ride and you can see them on the walls because that's where the Country Bear Jamboree, not the show, but like the bar or something, obviously not that sold alcohol, but it was like a restaurant or something connected to it is where they have the heads. But it's a nod to that because when Disney retires a ride, they usually do a little
Oh,
Easter
that's
egg to
cool.
it. But it's seriously the weirdest fucking thing ever. They sing like this guy sings about blood everywhere. Have you gone to that? You've never been to Country Bear
No,
Jamboree show?
I've never been. Wait, is this like Five Nights at Freddy's or like
I've
Willy's
never seen Five
Wonderland?
Nights.
What?
So I went into it. I probably do it once every 10 years just because it's like you have to remind yourself, like, how is this still here? Like this guy sings like it's like I don't know. You have to YouTube it, and he's
Now,
like,
how'd
"There's
that go
blood
again?
all there." No, I'm not kidding. It's like there's blood on the ceiling, and then these girl bears come out and they sing about how all the guys that turn them on turn them down.
Oh, wow.
It's very crazy and weird, and like Logan is like, "That's creepy."
Yeah,
But I
it
mean, but
is.
it's a Magic Kingdom classic. It was supposed to be at like a ski resort and it ended up at Magic Kingdom.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's creepy. Disney has some weird stuff. Like the we'll get the just don't ever go on the Pinocchio ride because Pinocchio is a horror story. And that we thought last summer when we were gonna go beat the heat and just take the quick Pinocchio ride, we our kids were
We did
scarred.
the Pinocchio
It
ride.
was awful. It was
All right.
terrifying.
Well, I guess we should do our
Anyway,
news and openers because yeah, we have a lot to say.
yes, we always like to start the show with what we've been reading or watching lately, followed by some news, and then our main topic. So, what we have been reading or watching, I'm gonna be real with you.
You've been
Uh,
busy.
I've been busy. I haven't been reading or watching. I did read a little bit of Something is Killing the Children on the plane, and I also watched Into the Spider-Verse on the plane. Other than that, I've been watching me down adult beverages and then walking through different parks and driving. I was driving a very nice Audi A4 through the Hollywood Hills. So that's what I was
Oh,
watching.
like Tony Stark.
Yeah, you didn't even know the car was so smooth. I would just be driving, and next thing you know, I'm going 90 miles an hour. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't feel like that. And Carrie's like, slow down.
That's
And I'm
what you
like,
told the cops.
no, I didn't get pulled over at all. But people in California were very nice. But that's what I've been watching. What have you been reading or watching? You got some stuff on there.
I do. So,
Secret Invasion. I've been watching
oh
that.
yeah, Secret Invasion. And if you want to know our thoughts, our deep thoughts on episode 2, we were just on the fandom. Nope.
Agents of Fandom podcast.
Agent. I
And
see a fandom. Agents of Fandom.
go check out Agents of Fandom. We are just on their episode recapping episode 2 of Secret Invasion. Great podcast, great network. Go read their reviews, go listen to their reviews. We were just there, but we're also going to talk it on our
Yeah.
episode today.
When they did a great breakdown of the first one too, and they talked about the whole AI intro and everything. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with them. They're a great podcast. So outside of Secret Invasion, there is a new season of Black Mirror. The first couple, there were some I loved, some I was like, oh, all right.
I
But the
haven't
one
watched
with
it yet.
dude, the one with Josh Hartnett,
He's in it.
Josh Hartnett and Aaron Paul, who's from Breaking Bad, Jesse. The two of them are in one. And I don't even want to explain
I'm
what it
sold.
is
Don't.
because
I'm sold.
it's a spoiler right away if I even
I'm
give a
sold.
premise of it. So watch it. And I kept thinking, oh, I got this. I got this. I know what because there's always a twist. I know what the twist is. Nope. I was so totally wrong. That one was great. The girl from Schitt's Creek is in the first one and with Selma Hayek. That one is interesting.
Definitely in.
Those are probably my two favorite. And then there's a couple of them that are a little like supernatural. Like Josh fell asleep in one, and I was like, you wouldn't like that one anyways. But that's kind of how Black Mirror is. Some of them are absolutely fantastic, and you can't stop thinking about it, and some of them are meh. So yeah, fantastic. I think there's 6 new ones on Netflix. Go check that out if you haven't. I am currently on book 3 of Aftermath. I'm a little more than halfway done, and that is the trilogy that takes place after Return of the Jedi, the books. I intend to finish that this weekend because it is so good. And I'm going to do like a TikTok or something like that, talking about that and explaining to everybody why you should read them if you like Star Wars. And then the other thing I watched was Howard the Duck. So shout out to the podcast Geeks Unleashed. They had posted a while ago that they actually did an episode on it. This was back in March they posted, and I commented like, oh, I've never seen this. I need to fix it. Well, they tagged me the other day. Did you ever get around to watching this? And I was like, no, I didn't. Well, it's on one of those free apps. So I pulled it up and I watched it, and it did not disappoint. If you have not seen Howard the Duck, it's a Marvel show. He's in all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the Christmas special. And it was everything I couldn't have imagined it would be.
It's an acid trip.
Yeah.
Like Howard the Duck is just it's if you did a bunch of mushrooms and then you put this on.
It's
I don't
George
even know how else
Lucas.
to explain it. Like it's just crazy.
So George Lucas I learned this on the IMDb trivia page, so take it with a grain of salt. He expected this movie to put him in the black because he had just bought like Lucas, and this movie came out in like 86. So this is the middle of like Indiana Jones era and all that. And it tanked. And so to save his wallet, he sold his CGI department to Steve Jobs, and that CGI department turned into Pixar. And at the end of the day, Disney owns all of it. So there you go.
Ooh, interesting. Did not know that bit. All right, that's cool. I haven't watched Extraction 2 yet with Chris Hemsworth. I need to. It's on Netflix. Apparently that's out now. So that's just what you're
I heard it's not as good as the first, but it's good.
Really? I've heard it's been really good. And
I heard it's good, just not as good as the first, but I haven't seen it. That's just what I heard.
Idris Elba and Chris Hemsworth, I'm sold. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I've been so busy. And hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, Friday, this past Friday, I'm going to go see Indiana Jones during the day. So we will probably be talking about that next week, I imagine, if we both go this weekend.
We shall see.
Go this weekend. No. On a serious
it's
note,
a holiday weekend.
No one cares.
Tracy's
Anyways,
in town. I'm supposed to meet. We're having a beer tasting at the beach.
Well, you're cool. Anyways, let's go into some news. Roll into some news. What do you have some news this week.
So The Boys season 4, they released a teaser trailer. However, Kripke has come out and said, do not expect season 4 until this writer strike gets together. And
Yep.
it was funny reading the comments because people are like, I think he's just holding season 4 hostage. And everybody's like, good for him. Yeah, get this shit together. Shark Week starts July 23rd and it is being hosted by Aquaman. Sony announced a horror-based Miles Morales short film. That
Oh,
sounds
yeah, that's
interesting.
right. That's coming out soon. And that's pretty cool. It's about his like anxieties and things like that. So that's probably gonna be pretty dope.
And my last piece of news isn't really news, it's more of a fun fact. Marva in Andor, she did an interview and she said she was supposed to, at the very end on her hologram, after she dies, say, fuck the Empire, but Disney wouldn't let her. So,
Oh, she's probably like, but they let Chris Pratt say this? God, come
well,
on.
that was in the movie though. So I'm guessing though, because this is on Disney Plus, we probably will not get Fury saying fucking Secret Invasion, which we deserve. We all deserve that.
I feel like we'll get it. They were just saving it for him. I'm holding out hopes.
Maybe the first Disney Plus fuck will
I'm
be
holding out hopes.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, so we have some news on the comic book front. Batman and Superman World's Finest cover number 19 releases in September. However, on the cover of that is none other than Nicolas Cage, whom you might have seen in the Flash movie. And if you didn't, not a lot of people did, don't worry.
Spoilers.
You
If you didn't, Matt
also
just ruined it for you.
come on. Look, that movie has been a very interesting case study into a lot of hype, not a lot of whatever on the back end. It
I feel
definitely was
like they're
not
being naive if they don't think that Ezra Miller impacted that box office.
in the CGI. Yeah, they're just come on. Something was up with that. We should have all known. But yes, Nicolas Cage is going to play Superman Once Upon a Time, and he is on the cover of Batman Superman's World's Finest issue 19. So grab that on your shelves September of this year. We also have a Craven the Hunter trailer. Oh boy. They've hinted at Craven and Spider-Man meeting. Venom 3 has started to film. I
The look
can't
of disgust on your face right now.
cannot tell you just how unenthusiastic I am, especially when you have Russell Crowe doing some sort of, I don't even know what his accent is. Then there's a shot of Aaron Taylor Johnson where there's like a bunch of spiders around him. So you just know they're setting up for like, I'm afraid of spiders. Ugh, I'm gonna go for Spider-Man. I
I didn't even watch it.
just don't. No, it comes out this fall. And on the Superman and Lois front, the Superman and Lois casting has been announced. David Corn Sweat, who you can see in a show called Hollywood, and he was also in a movie called Pearl, which is a very good movie starring Mia Goth. Check him out. And Rachel Brosnahan. God,
I never heard of him, but I know her. She's going to do a
yes,
fantastic Lois.
Rachel Brosnahan
She's Mrs.
is
Maisel.
the marvelous Miss Maisel. If you just watch that show, you can see how she is going to crush it as Lois Lane.
Yeah.
The fast talking, she's got like that swag about her. I am so excited to see what she's going to do with Lois Lane because I think she's going to crush it. And then also David looks like a miniature version of Henry Cavill. A lot of people have pointed out
He
those
does.
those memes have been funny. So I'm really excited and we'll see what happens there. We got World's Finest Superman Legacy comes out in 2025. We don't have to wait that long. It'll be here before you know it, folks. We also are getting a ton of new Mario content on the Switch this year, including a new 2D Mario game, which will drop October 20th. We're just Nintendo recently announced a lot of stuff coming out. I'm pretty stoked for this. They're going to do some reimagining of Luigi's games. So be on the lookout. If Switch, just focus on Mario and Zelda, and we're golden. Jon Snow spinoff is apparently still in the works. Is it?
I don't know if it's definitely happening, but it said it's still in the works. I think with the writer's strike, it's even more up in the air.
Nothing's
But
in the works right
I
now.
had to put that in your news because I just, yeah. I
Well,
know you
reports
didn't report
are
that news, but
Bad Bunny apparently left Sony's El Muerto or whatever in the Spider Verse realm.
oh,
Thank God.
huh.
Please make it stop. And my last bit of news is that Only Murders in the Building season 3 will be coming out August
That's fun
8th.
news.
One of the best TV shows out there. The Bear just released. Haven't watched that yet. Season 2. Apparently, it's got 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. I have no
Wow.
doubt. No doubt about it. They dropped The Bear season 2 all at once. So I don't No.
Oh, Hulu doesn't usually do that.
Yeah, so I hope they don't do that with Only Murders because I feel like these shows work better as a episodic release. I hope they
Hmm.
do that. I don't know. That's all the news we have. Let's go in before we get to Secret Invasion. Let's talk about. I went to LA. I lived a bougie lifestyle. So I went to my friend Charlie, who's been on the podcast before. He went to his wedding, him and Stephanie. Beautiful wedding. Awesome. We get there Friday and we get a nice Audi, like I talked about. We bougie. We flew first class. As soon as 5:30 a.m., we got on the plane. They're like, "Do you want something to drink?" I was like, "I'll take this cocktail. I'll take some wine." We were drinking right away. Come on, because that's what you do on vacation, right? We got no
Especially when
kids.
you don't have your kids.
We're
Yeah.
flying first class, free drinks.
First
Yes.
class.
So yeah, we almost didn't make it in time. It was fun, and we landed in Los Angeles. Went to the WB Studios tour actually. Now, that tour is amazing.
Did you get Central Perk coffee? I know you hate Friends, but
Yeah, no. So, okay. You show up, you park, the attendant was very nice. She was like talking, and then she was like, "Oh, you should come work for WB," because I made some sort of joke, and I was like, "You serious?"
okay.
Because I'll do it right now. Like I'll come do it right now. Like, sure, just me. But she was really nice. It was kind of weird. Like Californians, everybody we encountered, like everywhere, was super nice. It was kind of weird. I thought, like, I'm not used to that. And you park, you get to go into the actual building, and you can go through the gift shop while you wait for your tour, or you can go to your tour right away. We went to the gift shop first. Saw a lot of cool stuff. They have like real suits that were worn by the actors and things like that from Harry Potter, from Flash, from Arrow, Supergirl. They had some supernatural stuff, which I wasn't expecting either. That was kind of cool to see a couple supernatural shirts and things like that. Of course, yes, Friends and The Big Bang Theory are two of their big premier things there.
When I was there, they didn't have anything Big Bang that I
Ugh,
know of.
they could
I
just
went
release
almost
that.
6 years ago,
Well,
but I did the whole Friends thing. But I like Friends, so to me that was fun.
Carrie likes Friends a lot, and we get to the tour. They take you in. You see like that movie to start, and then you hop on, and you kind of it's like an on-off tour on the bus, which is cool because you get to go see things like where the hall or the alleyway scene from Batman and Forever was filmed, where Dick Grayson, Chris O'Donnell, who's 45 years old, he takes the Batmobile and or it was Batman and Robin, I'm sorry, because he goes to save Alicia Silverstone and he fights like the bad guys and all that kind of stuff or whatever it is. Oh no, he doesn't save Alicia. This is Batman Forever. I'm mistaken. This is where he's angsty and he takes the car. So you get to see the alleyway that was filmed at. And then on that same alleyway, you get to see where the kiss scene was filmed in Spider-Man between Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire. And apparently,
I don't
when
think
he
you
was
needed to clarify that. I think we're all aware.
when Toby was hanging upside down, apparently they're like waterboarding him to the point of
Did
like
it put stuff up his nose?
they put the cotton balls in his nose. So like when he goes to talk and Kirsten Dunst turns around, it's actually a genuine laugh because of how he sounded. So I love stuff like that. Like The Mask was filmed in
Yeah.
this lot. And I just really love things like that. It's always exciting to me. And of course, you see Gilmore Girls. That's another really big one.
And they make a comment to that in Supernatural because they're making you think that's the lot tour they're on, but really they're in Canada.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Carrie loved Gilmore Girls, so she was geeking out. We went into like saw Sookie's house and some other house. I don't know whose it was because I don't care. And finally, they drop you off at the cafe, so you get to go to Central Perk. Yeah, I didn't have their coffee, but we ate lunch. You know, had a PB&J, and we had their little cappuccino cupcake that you can get there, so you can
I still have
stop
their
and
cup. I kept the
oh.
plastic cup that says Central Perk that my iced coffee came in.
I keep all the PIM glasses, so I mean, I guess you're kind of supposed to,
Oh,
but
this is like a throwaway glass. It's down here. I could
it's
grab it, but
funny.
maybe I'll post a picture.
Yeah, you can go in there and eat basically at Central Park before you go in through and you can do like green screen stuff, kind of see like the Batmobile or not the Bat his bike from Dark Knight. You get to see some other outfits like the Elvis outfits, Space Jam outfits, sit inside the Perk Cafe, and then you can take another little bus and it'll take you to the friend's couch with the fountain. We didn't do that. We skipped that. The line was
Oh, we
just
didn't see the
crazy.
fountain. I did the
Yeah.
couch. I got to say a line from Friends, and I
Oh,
learned that I
that's
don't
fun.
know how to act at all when I
Oh, they
see
take you like so they drive you to the fountain and the couch
Oh,
is
we
like
didn't get to
hard
do that.
plastic though, so it's like ew.
No, this must be a different new experience because the couch we sat on, it was like a normal like couch that
No.
you would sit
You
on
did get to
in
sit
a
on that
thing.
couch. We did. So that's inside the, like the little Central Perk Cafe where you walk through. I know what you're talking about because we did that part too. But then the next leg is they take you to the fountain and you get to pose in front of the fountain.
Damn.
And then after the fountain, they take you to the last stop, which is you go through the hall of DC characters and it opens up and you got like a little bit of like a miniature Game of Thrones experience, very small. And
I don't
then
think we had that either. Well, Game of
yeah,
Thrones was still on then, though,
that's fair.
when I
But it was
went.
very small. They only had like a few outfits and like some swords and a dragon's head. But to your right is the Bat Cave. They have all of the suits from the Justice League. They have the car from the Batman. They have Zoe Kravitz's suit. They have Robert Pattinson's suit, which Zoe Kravitz is the size of my 7-year-old. No shit. She is tiny. I did not
Look at
expect
her
that.
mom is the one from Cosby Show. She seems pretty tiny.
I didn't expect her to be 4'7". Like that was really, I don't know if she's actually 4'7", but she was wicked small. Did not expect that at all because movie magic.
Oh,
And
she looks pretty tiny. And well, I mean, she's in what, X-Men First Class?
oh, she is in that, isn't she?
And she's got the fairy wings. She's a stripper.
That's right. Yeah. And it was like a cool experience because then you go into the Bat Cave and it has the Bat Wing, it has the Batmobile, the Bat Bike, all of that good stuff. And it was just, that was like the best part of the experience. She's 5'2".
You just Googled it. She's taller than Kaylee. She's taller than
She's
my
5'2",
oldest.
and Robert Pattinson's 6'1". So like she looked smaller than 5'2". Like I swear to God, I thought she was tinier than 5'2". It was just yeah. And after that, you can like go through the Harry Potter experience, which is pretty cool. They had the car, the mandrakes. You get to go get
Oh, did you
sorted.
do the hat?
Oh, of course
Kaylee
we
did the hat.
we
But they
got
keep
sorted
it
into
like
our
above
houses.
your head. Oh, Jensen Ackles did the hat.
Yeah,
But they
they
don't
do
let you
keep it
touch it,
above your head.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got sorted into Hufflepuff, which is my house. No big deal. Carrie got Ravenclaw, which is her house, so it's oddly
It's like it
accurate.
knows. I don't remember what Kaylee got.
Weird.
She probably
Weird.
remembers. I did not do it.
Yeah. And then finally you get to go through um just like some miniature things, and there's Game of Thrones, and you can leave. So the WB tour is awesome. If you haven't done
Guys,
it, do it.
I remember seeing like a miniature Corpse Bride and being upset there was a
Yeah.
Nightmare, but
They didn't
Nightmare's
have that.
Disney. And I guess
Yeah.
Corpse Bride is not. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they didn't have any of that stuff there now. So it's obviously changed. They change it up. I didn't see any writers striking. Had I seen some writers striking, I would have been out there with them. Honestly, I definitely would have.
With your
Uh,
Central Perk coffee.
yeah, well, this is beforehand, man. Come on, solidarity. After that, though, we went to the hotel, drank, hung out, did like the whole party thing. The next day was the wedding, so we actually went to. Oh no, Friday night we went to Tarantula Hills Brewing, which is in Agora Hills, or not Agora Hills. It's somewhere kind of close by, but it was a very nice brewery. Wicked, a lot of beers, really big, good food. My only complaint is like this person was letting their kids run up and down the stairs, jump around stairs, act crazy. And people would look at us because they were closest to us while the dad was in a corner and think they were our kids. And I was like, they ain't my kids, because my kids would not be acting like this in a brewery right now. Like that is just rude
No.
and ignorant, man.
Mm.
Absolutely. Like if you go to a brewery with your kids, have some decency. I was kind of hoping like one of the kids would run into my knee and I could get the dad to pay for my entire bar tab, but it didn't happen,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah. You had your leg brace on.
I would have played that shit up real good. It was a good brewery though. And then the next day was the day of the wedding, but the wedding was until 4:30. So we went to another brewery because it was like, well, what breweries around here? I found
You guys,
one, or
how
no, I'm
did y'all
sorry.
doing coke on this trip? Like, how did you have the energy for all of
So I'll
this?
get to that. We didn't actually go to a brewery first thing. First thing we did was go to Santa Monica. We went to the pier because we woke up. It was like 7 in the morning, and I was like, "Let's go to the pier." And Carrie's like, "Yeah, why not? Let's go to the pier." And so we went to the pier. Pier was awesome. I saw Muscle Beach. I saw people rollerblading, and I was like, "Wow, that's a real thing here." Like I was
Yeah.
enamored. And there was like a skate competition getting set up. I was like, "Yo, this is amazing!" And
It's
we
like
drove
cliche after cliche.
yeah, we drove through the scenic highway through Malibu and all of that stuff. I didn't see the Barbie house, unfortunately, but it was awesome. And then we went to the brewery, which was 14 Cannons, which is named after some Revolutionary War hero. And that place was the best spot that we went to pretty much the entire weekend, I would say. Besides Bottle Logic, there's pros and cons to each, right? The bartender, nicest dude ever. He was super happy to like chat with us. They had really good pizza. They had games. So Carrie and I did like trivia while we just sat there and drank a ton of beers. Yeah. They had like trivia cards. And so we sat there and just did trivia cards with each other. We tried a ton of beers. One of their West Coast IPAs was like out of this world. I actually bought it because I'm going to send you a can. And so,
Yes. Love a good
yes,
West Coast.
we are going to have it on the podcast because I did buy you
As I
some
drink my
beers,
East Coast.
and I'm drinking a tart ale, a sour, if you will. Um, but yeah, then we went to the wedding, and the wedding was open bar, so it was a beautiful wedding, and they filmed scenes from The Bachelor and The Bachelorette at this location. But
Oh, how funny.
we got wasted, yeah, wasted, and then somehow this is the best part. We woke up. It was Sunday morning. I was struggling. Oh my god. I would wake up and Carrie's like, we can sleep in a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And you know the scene,
Power through.
you got like one eye open. And it's the scene from The Wolf on Wall Street where he's like on Quaaludes trying to get out of his car. That's
Yes.
how I felt. And so we finally got going. And I was like, I'm fine. We're good. We got this. I get to Universal and then it hits me. I'm like, I was perfectly fine until like we got into the Universal Park. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm still drunk all of a sudden. It was
Hey,
just,
that's better than being hungover.
yeah, it was bad, but
Shame you don't drink Bloody Marys.
yeah,
Because I'm sure you could have gotten one at Universal.
it was it was rough. We were feeling rough that day. I wasn't going to survive. We went to Super Mario World. Super Mario World is cool. It's really small though, like tiny. You kind of have to like wait in a queue to get into the actual
Well,
park
it's
there.
brand new.
Yeah, well, we had to wait like 30 minutes in a queue to get into the actual park. And then once you get in there, there's some rides. Like it's a very tiny park. But the main attraction, the Mario Kart ride, was a 240-minute wait.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we waited like 45 minutes and then said, fuck this, we're out. So we didn't do that ride.
But
Gonna
you
be
don't want
honest
to
with
wait
you.
another 200 minutes?
No, and they don't have any
That's
fast. They
insane.
have like an express option, but it's an
Where
extra $90 on your ticket per
Oh, they do
person.
that here too.
Screw
But
that.
like, where do you fit that many people that are in a 240-minute
That's my
long line?
complaint. They come from the ride, they come down, and they go all the way down through the middle of Super Nintendo World to about the entrance of Super Nintendo World. So it's
Erica went
just
like the weekend they opened, and I don't think it was that bad.
that's
What the
terrible.
hell?
It was bad. It was wicked bad. It was awful.
Well, they're
We
opening
didn't
one up here soon.
Yeah, we didn't hang out too long in there. So I'll have to do the Orlando one because the Universal isn't as good. Like they only had Hogsmeade. They didn't have the soft serve butterbeer ice cream either, which I wanted. They had like the cup version.
Blasphemy.
Well, I ordered
The ice
Savannah.
cream's pretty good. I don't
It's
like the butter beer by itself.
the
It's too
butterbeer.
sweet.
I was too hungover. I drank a little bit of it and I had to throw it away. I ordered some and I was like, I can't
Yeah,
do
it's
this.
way you can't have that much sugar in your tummy. Yeah.
No. And so
Kaylee
I
likes the hot one the most.
ew, no.
You
Gross.
don't have to drink. They don't even think they serve it in the summer. I think they only sell it
That makes
in the
sense.
winter.
But I did buy the ice cream thinking it was a soft serve like you get at Universal Orlando in Diagon
Hmm.
Alley, and it wasn't. And it was super like generic ice cream. It was just the whole
Oh.
Universal experience was very mid. It's there's like 5 or 6 rides, so
How's
everything
the
is just
Jurassic Park ride though? Their new one. Is
it's
that one good?
it's a
Like with
water
the
ride, so I didn't go
right.
on it.
I've seen the
I
pictures and it looks pretty
It
cool.
looked cool, but like the Jurassic World itself is tiny, so I was expecting kind of something like Universal in Orlando because I've been there and it was tiny. It was a water ride, so we didn't even bother with it. I love the Mummy ride, but the wait was like 90 minutes for that.
Mummy ride. If it's anything like ours, it's awesome because it goes like
Yeah, and
backwards
you
and
get like
then
flamed on. It's cool.
yeah.
We did the Transformers ride though. The Transformers ride's the same as Universal Orlando, and that was fun.
That's your cliche Universal ride though. It's 3D and
It is,
yeah.
yeah. And but other than that, man, like to be honest with you, the rides, there's only like 6 rides. You're very limited on rides in Universal, and it's not that great. It's
I have
very
not been
bad.
there since I was in high school and we went on like a school trip. And the thing that I remember though that we do not have was they had like a legit backlot tour. And then we
They
did like
do,
a
yes.
fake Nickelodeon thing. Like one of our friends was on stage doing, kind of like Double Dare or whatever. Like they
Yeah.
had stuff set up like that back then. So
They
I remember that being a cool part of Universal.
they still do. So no, that we did the backlot tour. It's fun. They have like a Jaws set up, and they still film stuff on that.
Yeah, and it's the like we don't have Jaws anymore. Jaws is gone. That's
Yeah,
Diagon Alley is Jaws.
they should have
Or
turned. That makes sense why they
Jaws is
still because they
Diagon
still this is
Alley.
still a working lot, so they still like use that
Right.
Jaws scene.
They don't do
They
anything in Orlando anymore.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. So I guess that makes sense. But the lot was cool. I mean, You saw the Psycho House. You saw where they
Yeah.
feel like they're big. Oh crap! I gotta
See, that's
pause.
cool.
Hold on. I'm getting a call. This is work.
Oh, okay. Um,
Another cool thing is they have this like big fake lake. And I guess the one cool thing about all the studios out there is that they all like Disney will film at this Universal fake lake and Disney will film at the WB lot and they all like intertwine and film with each other, which I didn't realize was a thing because they're competing
I didn't
companies.
either. Yeah.
I thought that was really rad. But yeah,
Wish Disney and
Universal just
Universal could get their shit together here and we could get Marvel at Disney. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
that's true. Yeah, no, Universal though, as a total. If you're going to Los Angeles, like you can skip Universal Los Angeles. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just don't waste your time. We did do Disneyland, and always a good time. Always a good time. We went there
You
last
did
year with the
both.
kids. We did. Yeah, that was a last minute decision. Like we had been drinking Friday evening. We're like, we're gonna do it. So we bought Disneyland tickets as one does, right?
Oh, the trunk purchases are the most fun
and
purchases.
but it's always so much fun, and it's even better when you
Yeah.
don't have children
Yeah,
because
I know. How crazy is that?
we'd be walking around and we hear parents like yelling at their kids, and we're like, we know that feeling, but not today. It
Right.
was the best thing
When we
ever.
did the Disney cruise with just Jessica, Kaylee, and I, which, Kaylee's 18 at the time, like we were
Yeah,
walking by the kids club area and they're like, "Oh, are you picking up a kid?" I go, "Nope, I left them at home." And the cast member goes, "Good for you."
it's the best thing ever. Oh man, I love it so much. But Disneyland's like obviously not as good as Disney World. However,
Oh, people will fight you about that.
Disney World's way better. And but the one thing that I will say is like it was a Monday and it was weird because the lines weren't long. We got right on the Indiana Jones ride, which as a six
That's
foot
surprising
four
to me.
person, it was awesome. But you always forget like how little leg room you have in these things, and then mix that in with the fact that my leg only bends to 116 degrees right now. So it
Uh,
was hurting. Woof. But it was still so much fun. And that was so that ride was great. We did Big Thunder Mountain, we did Smuggler's Run, we did like 8 rides within the first hour of the park opening because there was no
oh wow.
lines. Yeah, and we even bought the genie passes. Disneyland, by the way, their app wasn't working for iPhones.
It happens all the time here too. And like what'll happen too, like when we were booking our last cruise, I'm on the phone with like the travel agent and he's like, "I don't know why this website's being weird today." I'm like, "Well, I just spent 3 hours waiting to get the pass holder preview for Tron."
Yeah,
And he's like, "That's exactly what it is." And he was telling us, like like they do not have the systems that are like it's like they're always shocked how many people are on their
it's
system at the
crazy.
same time.
Exactly. It's like you're
It
Disney. You
crashes.
should be having, and iPhones are like the
Right.
most popular phone brand out there. What are we doing?
Well, and every time there's a race too, the freaking thing is like
Oh
it's just
yeah,
ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. And I'll be honest with you, like we once 11 o'clock hit, we spent most of our day in California Adventures.
I love
And of
California
course I got new
Adventure.
Crocs. Come on. I got the summer symphony version of the Disney Crocs. I'm like the
Oh
Thanos
my
collecting
God.
Crocs. So I got summer, I got fall, I got winter. I need the
No,
spring edition next.
Brielle's got the spring edition. She got them last week. My mom,
Which ones are
Brielle's
the spring edition for you guys?
Flower and Garden Festival.
I'm gonna need the spring edition next year. Come through for me.
So she stayed the night at my mom's, and my mom's like, "I'll just meet you at Epcot, and you can pick her up from there." And I pick her up, and she's wearing fucking
Nice.
Crocs.
Yeah, mine are the purple symphony ones right now because that's the big 100th anniversary thing going on over there in Disneyland. So like
Oh,
the
it's here
symphony.
too.
Okay,
It's
okay.
the 100th anniversary of like the Walt Disney Company.
Oh, I thought it was just Disney. Okay,
That's
that
actually
makes
what
sense.
sparked my trip out there. I was writing an article for Attractions Magazine about the 100th anniversary festivities for Disneyland, and I was like, I want to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was fun. It was great seeing. I got to go the 100th year. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But we spent a lot of time. They didn't have as many characters out today at the Avengers campus that day.
You guys got a picture with Iron Man though.
Iron Man's always out. Nick
We couldn't get
Fury
a
came
picture with
out.
like anybody except Black Widow. Like as far as like
Really?
standing still, like we just kept like missing our opportunity. Captain America did stop and like fist bump Logan because he
I
had
didn't
the
have
whole
not
like
seen
jacket
Captain
on.
America. Damn it.
I was adamant we had to do that because I have a picture of Brielle from when we went there 5 years ago, like with her saluting, wearing her Captain America hoodie
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
next to
yeah.
Captain America. And this was before Avengers Campus. And so Logan had the same hoodie on. And so fortunately, I got a really cute picture of him fist bumping, but he didn't stop and take pictures. The only one that stopped and took that we were able to get in line with was Black Widow. And Logan still, like the other day, he was looking at the Black Widow toy and he's like, "That's my bestie."
Lucky. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. I haven't seen Cap. Doctor Strange was out. Black Widow and Black Panther were doing their Taskmaster fight, which has been I saw that last year. Still cool to see.
Yeah.
But Iron Man was out. You have to like get special pictures with him, which we did because I had my Roosevelt shirt on, so I had to. But other than that, we didn't see any other characters besides Nick Fury, who was given fighting lessons. That was it.
Oh,
So it's
that's
kind of
cool.
disappointing
Uh,
because last time we saw everybody, and then like also, I barely missed the
you
Rogers the musical by like 2 days, so I'm kind of bummed about that too. I just see people getting
should have
advanced
extended
screenings
it.
today. And I was like, man, why couldn't Charlie have his wedding this weekend?
God, Charlie, you're so selfish.
Charlie is so selfish. Yeah, he was the worst.
He
But
was the one that was on Jurassic Park. I think,
yes,
God, was that 2 years ago
we have to
now or
do a
1 year
Jaws
ago?
episode with him, but it was last year, I think it was. Maybe it was
Oh,
two. I
we
don't
did
know.
Jaws last year. Maybe we should do Jaws 2 this year.
I'm gonna hit him up and do that. Yes, we will. Let's do that. Side note, they got rid of the She-Hulk bench. And also, the Web Slingers ride is now
Oh, I hadn't
Disney
even seen that.
Genie, but the Guardians of the Galaxy ride is Lightning Lane only, which kind of sucks. One big caveat to this whole thing is if you're going here and you see long lines, because we found this out, we went to ride Radiator Springs. The wait was 65 minutes.
Which is very
But,
short for it.
yes, however, single rider line wait was 5 minutes. So we
Yeah.
did the single rider lane, and then we still ended up in the cars racing each other. And of course, my car won because we're the best. But yeah, like how single rider, just you don't, unless you have like kids, you have to be together.
Right.
We were luckily with each other, didn't care. Single rider
No.
all day.
The first time I did Smuggler's Run, we did single rider, and there was three of us, and I ended up an engineer next to Erica.
Yeah. I beat out a group of teenage girls to go be the pilot because they're like, I don't know what I want to be. I was like, well, I'm going to be a pilot because they were
They need to.
asking.
I convinced Logan that it's more fun to be an engineer because you get to push buttons than to be a
Yeah.
pilot.
You push buttons. I'm flying. I'm flying this
We
bitch.
really
Get
we can't
over.
keep letting these kids pilot the Millennium Falcon. It's just not
No,
right.
no, I
We
don't have
can't.
the
I
insurance to
owe
cover this.
so much money to Hondo already. I cannot afford to let my kids keep piloting this thing.
It's outrageous. I'm with you. So, Carrie was my other pilot. She wasn't very good, but you know,
So the last time we were on it, one of the older kids was the pilot, and then we let some other random guy that was in the Millennium Falcon with us be the other pilot. And Logan was being the engineer, and everything. And the guy like complained to the cast member after. He's like, "This wasn't working. It wasn't doing what." And I wonder. I'm like, maybe it was. Like he
you
seemed like he
just
was like a
suck.
local, right? But maybe he just sucks. I don't know.
Listen, man, it's okay. You just suck. That's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that was my California adventures. I did go to Bottle Logic, great brewery, nerd themed. They have really good smoothie ales. God, if I can get their Krakoa beer, you got a lot of marshmallow
I
flavor.
actually
Oh,
have. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was gonna say, do you have one in a can?
No.
That was my favorite beer they had. She was like, hey, I don't know if you're going to be here long, but we're doing trivia in an hour. And I was like, why didn't we get a hotel in Anaheim tonight? Because then we could have just driven 5 minutes back to the hotel rather than an hour. So I was like, I can't stay and drink and do trivia. Sucked. But
Yeah.
amazing brewery. I love that brewery so much.
I haven't gotten to like because the last time we went, we had all the kids, so I didn't get to like
Right.
genuinely enjoy it. And then this last time I went to Monkish because Monkish wasn't far.
Right.
And I had that was a brewery I hadn't been to. But I'm looking at my beer fridge. I have a sticker on my beer fridge that's from Bottle Logic, and it says the Upside Down, and I got that back
Yeah.
in 2017. So
They're
yeah,
like,
they do. I like don't even think of them that they're like a nerd bar.
they are a big, and it's awesome. And they give you stickers. I bought a sweatshirt. Carrie bought a shirt. I don't know the next time I get to Anaheim is because we're moving to the East Coast. I'm going to be going to Disney World and hanging out with Lauren. But
We need to go to Universal. You need to do Velocicoaster. That is the best roller coaster ever.
all right, well,
And
can
I'm a muggle, and Hagrid's is amazing.
that's true. I do want to do Hagrid's Ride. Haven't done that one because that one came after my last Universal Orlando
That one
trip.
is so good.
But yeah, that's my experiences. Let's roll into Secret Invasion.
Oh, you need to do Cosmic Rewind too. Okay.
I do. Dang. All right, I'm gonna start booking a trip right now if we keep talking this. So give me your thoughts on episodes 1 and 2
You
of
and
Secret
Carrie just
Invasion.
need to have some beers, FaceTime Josh and I. All right.
Yeah.
My first thoughts on Secret Invasion.
Yes. What are your first thoughts on Secret Invasion? As I plan to set up a Zoom night between the four of us so we can convince Carrie to go.
Rhodey's a scroll. That's my
Without a doubt.
yeah. I don't know why I didn't blatantly see it at first. So Tim texted me earlier and he's like, "Have you been watching the Screen Crush videos?" And I was like, "No, I watched the Heavy Spoilers one." And so then I got home and I put on Screen Crush and I'm like, "Holy shit!" 2 minutes and I'm like, "How did I not see Rhodey has to be a scroll?" He was being so rude to Fury, and he kept calling him Nick. And that was the telltale sign with Talos when we learned that Talos was a Skrull because he called Fury Nick or Nicholas,
Yes.
one of the two. He didn't refer to him as Fury after Fury had just told Carol that everybody calls him Fury, even his mom.
That's yep, that's true. And also his whole demeanor wasn't very like he didn't really react. He his demeanor
He's
got
being a
mean.
dick.
Once Fury said that we can't call the Avengers, he got really mean too.
Yeah. And he was, and like, I get he was kind of a dick in Endgame, so I don't know how long he's been
But
a
he wasn't
Skrull.
like a government shill though to this degree.
Right. Like even in Iron Man 2, when he's saying like the government should have this, he said before, he's like, you don't want me to read the whole thing. You don't want me to read it in context. And the guy who's like, Hail Hydra was like, no, just read this excerpt,
Yeah.
which, read the headline, don't read the article. And Rhodey's like, no, I want to read the article. So yeah, he's turned into a total dick. I think he became a Skrull after he was injured in Civil War.
That would make a lot of sense,
Maybe
honestly.
he's
And
dead.
that sucks. Like I kind of hope he died like he became a scroll after Endgame because then it kind of sucks that or are we going to get an extra sad moment when we find out that Rhodey wasn't around when Tony died and it's extra emotional?
But I mean, Skrulls are still emotional. We saw that Nick Fury married a Skrull, and Talos obviously is emotional towards humans and Skrulls alike. But so there was one thing, and like I'm texting Tim while I'm watching this, and then the scene comes up because I'm like, oh shit, because you saw Talos in this flirt with the guy as the woman, and he makes a comment like, a black American on this train, you're more likely to meet an alien. And what does Nebula say in Endgame? It wasn't always like this. And then Rhodey says, neither was I. And he's referring to what we think are his leg braces, but maybe he's referring.
Oh, that's a deep pull right there.
So I want to give myself credit for that, even though 5 minutes later it came up on the video I was watching.
That's still I
But
didn't that's
yeah,
still a deep pull. That's a good wow, I didn't think about. Man, that's crazy.
one of the things
It's
he said too, which I don't agree with, but it's fun to think about, that when the actor changed from Terrence Howard to
I'm here,
Don
it's me,
Cheadle,
deal with it.
yeah, but that was when the scroll took over, and we saw it because became a character in She-Hulk,
Oh.
and they did not see it because they're in it.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that. But it's fun to think about. But that's Screen Crush with Ryan Airy. If anybody wants to watch the whole video,
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one, but he's definitely a scroll, which is gonna hurt. Obviously it is, but that doesn't mean
Fury's got to
Rhodey.
see that though, right?
I think he's suspicious. I think he is, but he's not gonna let us onto that. And it's I love Ben Mendelsohn too. Him and Sam Jackson have crushed it. And then even Amelia Clark, she's playing like the double agent role. You don't know what side she's on. You think she's leaning more towards her dad's side because she's Gaia, but Gravik has a chance to probably be a top tier MCU villain because as of the first two episodes, he's
He
killing it.
just killed 2,000 people at least. They said probably more.
He's very
And
nonchalant and like
yeah,
now he's taking over the
I,
council. Like
right. That was not a democracy. That was a duress.
yeah, he's kind of scary. And again, you don't know who to trust. There's a million scrolls on Earth now. So how many of our heroes were scrolls? That's the other thing. It's like, how does this all play out?
That would be really kind of interesting if they do reveal people we've known for a while to be scrolls, because then you're going to have to go back. And they need to be careful about that too, though, because naturally then we'll go back and dissect it. And so when do you think Martin Freeman or Everett Ross became a scroll?
It had to have been after Black Panther
So do you think
because
he was a scroll in Wakanda forever?
no, absolutely not. No, I
Okay.
think that was legit him because I think that was literally him. And then after that is when it happened. I
I
think.
agree. Because Wakanda is like Baskin Robbins.
Yeah,
They
like
always find
they
out.
would have found out number one, number two, like he acted totally different. Like he was helping them, with Riri and everything like that. I think it happened after Wakanda Forever, somewhere in that in between. And we're gonna find the real Ross in this season. I
I hope
think
he's okay.
he
I
better
hope he's
be
in
okay.
Wakanda. He should be in Wakanda.
Yeah, like what if that's where he's at this whole time, unbeknownst to him, somebody's in Russia pretending to be him, like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But then again, one of the other things is like they take their memories and they have them put up on like that sleep thing. So they have their bodies like asleep and they have to stay in their shells and all that kind of stuff.
You wonder, are they still like safe in there? Are they in like just
I
stasis? Like,
they're
do
probably
they
just,
wake
yeah.
up?
That's what I'm thinking.
But I
They're
mean,
just in deep sleep.
right? Yeah. I guess if that's the case, because it's like you think
It's like
like, if they're not
WandaVision, right?
feeding
They
them.
kind of know they're there deal or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Huh.
so I'm curious though, like how this will play out because it's gonna lead to. I was wondering because we always ever saw like a room full of scrolls, like, oh, now we can get Secret Wars because now there's a million and they're in government positions. It's something's gonna happen that's gonna end on a cliffhanger because it leads into Armor Wars that we're just not gonna be ready for. I got a feeling.
That's what's interesting about like this whole, Disney Plus universe and Marvel in general. It's like you're never gonna have everything wrapped up nicely with the boat because they're just gonna keep, intentionally setting things up.
Building off of it, all of that stuff. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. But
It's
I'm loving it. I'm excited.
I
I
am
didn't realize
too.
there's only 6 episodes,
Yeah,
really. So
only
we're
six
really
episodes.
that stinks.
That
But then we'll
sucks.
have Ahsoka right after.
And then Loki right after that, and then Echo, and then who knows after that. So yeah, I really blown away by how much I've loved the series so far. I can't wait. I like all the dynamics. It's
With
fun. I love a spy
Sonya.
thriller. It's a slow burn. Sonya, played by Olivia Colman, she's a badass, and I think she's going to be the person to really team up with Fury and bring this to an Avengers
Yeah.
level threat.
So you bring in your Secret Wars. When is Secret Wars supposed to come out? 2025?
We have no idea anymore. It's like 26.
That's
I think
fair.
with the writer strike, it's like 2026 now. I don't know.
That's
Who
fair.
knows? Eventually, maybe, allegedly, but Armor Wars will be out and Ironheart will be out, and so they'll all tie in together too and put on a nice bow. But yeah, that's
When
our.
is Thunderbolts?
It was supposed to be. I think it got moved to like the end of next year.
Mm,
So who knows? At this point, who knows? Because the writer strike. So let's hope
right.
this ends in a fair way for writers and actors, and the studio stop being dickheads. And let's get these. Let's keep this good train rolling, man. Let's get this party. It's like you got to rally.
Right. We already had a content drought in
Exactly.
2020. We don't
We
need that
don't.
again.
We don't need to do it again. We've been through that. Yeah, that's our thoughts, and we'll cover it as it goes on each week. We'll still talk about it. Next week, we're probably going to be covering Indiana Jones, maybe. And other than that, let us know what you guys want to hear. Obviously, you're always entitled to that. That's also another Patreon. If you join our Patreon, you can go ahead and pick episodes. And we're rolling into July, folks. July, Shark Week's coming up. Talking lots of great things. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. Cheers.